All right, we're on the prowl yet again, and this time in this video, which is kind of a series of linked videos from our travels, we have found a lot of cool junk, roadside gold, as you will see. Some really cool finds, so stick around, check it out, subscribe, and I hope you get inspired from what you're about to see, instead of grossed out. Oh my God, they're trash pickers. Every day. I love these little bottles, so I'm gonna grab a couple of these. Cool little picture right there. I got too much of that stuff. Fisher Price phone. This whole bag of bottles, these are really cool. Here's a close-up of those little bottles too. Tough to read what this one says. It says, oh, there we go, Benjamin Franklin. Kind of cool. These are neat. Balsam of Life. The King's Patent. Little corncob bottle, a bell, and this one is a horse on it. They're like little reproductions, or is it a dog? It's cool, whatever the case. If I had space. No, that's busted. Ice cube trays, good for rock collecting, or old school fridges. This is kind of neat. I'll take that too. Thank you, Streets. Yet again, these bottles are awesome. We having fun yet?
Yeah.
Kind of fun doing everything by bike because you can see things at a slower pace. Just got passed by the FedEx too. Gotta pick it up. Old Victorian looking couch. You reupholster those. I've sold them before. They go for decent money. Too much work though. This unfortunately is a dead end. We're just out for some exercise, yet scouting materials. Folding table. Cool pot. Something like that right there. That pot, if I could carry it, would go for about 10, 12 bucks. There's a kitty rug, one of those with the roads and cityscapes on it. That folding table shot. I'd pass on that. Scrap boards up there I'd use for something. And a mirror. Actually, those boards are kind of nice for trim work. I might be back later for those. We'll see. If I want to bother. My daughter has the eagle eye. All right, nothing too awesome there. I'm filming this separately to the side because the people were like 10 feet away from the toolbox. A couple old hinges, copper, or something. I just throw them in a bin. And these are the little stubs for BMX bikes. I found out recently I had some. I sold them for like 12 bucks. Not a great haul, but they, you know, can be put to use and sold instead of going into the trash. Remember that vase we saw the other day while biking? There she is. I want to look at this wheelbarrow too, because these are very expensive. Christmas tree stand. The guts of these are good. Wheelbarrows are like 80 bucks a pop, and I kind of need one. So I might look at this. A lot of times you can fill the tires with Fix-A-Flat. You can just fix a couple things and they're good to go. I might throw that in my roof rack up there. Scratch that. Fails the daylight test, so it's just scrap. Dagnabbit. This bed I'm going to pass on because they're a dime a dozen. Got some golf clubs here. Suitcase pass, 40 bottle. I'll come back to those golf clubs because I got some earlier. Here's what I want to look at. See this over here? These old school slatted benches, if they're in good shape, are actually worth a lot of money. I sell them for like 50 bucks a pop. So I'm going to grab that maybe, and I want to see what this fish sculpture thing is, because it's ugly but kind of cool. Unfortunately and heartbreakingly, it's too busted up. The legs are kind of shot. I'm debating if the top's worth painting, fixing, and putting new legs on it. I don't know. Let's kind of, the legs are too messed up. This thing's so horrible, I might take it. Oh, it's actually, there's other pieces of it. So this thing is really, nah, you know what, I'm gonna pass. The metal fish themselves, they're kind of interesting. Not worth it though. That bench breaks my heart, I'm gonna pass. This sucker was hiding behind these trash cans. We just doubled back. Kind of a generic picture, but some people like this junk. The frame's actually kind of cool, so I'm grabbing that. Without attracting too much attention, because the dude's garage is open, meaning someone might be there as I film and yak about this. I'm in my car, but this bench right there, we might grab that. Looks like a plant stand, maybe. Very almost kind of like, look, Ma, I made this in shop class. Is that a gouge taken on the back? I'll find out though. So I might grab that. Nope, that was a total piece of crap. So we're gonna pass on that one. We saw a Wicker trunk one street back, which I'm gonna circle back to look at, because while it won't sell for much, it's kind of a neat item.
Do you want paint? Because there are buckets of paint on there.
No, that I saw that paint, yeah. There was paint they were discarding. The caps were off, most of them. So we're gonna double back and look at this trunk, maybe grab that. Like I said, not a big seller, but every bit adds up. It's just kind of fun grabbing the stuff and giving it new life via cash for me. All right, here it is. What do you think, McGee? Does it look too beat? Should I get out of the car?
I don't know.
It's got a little hairiness to it, meaning a couple of wicker pieces are falling off. I'm gonna check it out. It's actually kind of cool. There's a few fuzzy spots, but those can be glued down and retucked. The hardware on it's kind of nice. In she goes. All right, I got a hoverboard sighting, those little two-wheeled skateboardy things, which are really expensive new, and if this one works, which it probably doesn't, but I'm gonna grab it because I have the charger, it's worth a lot of loot right there. Golf clubs, bingo, and some weird flower pots. I might take that because it's growing season. I might use those myself. Here's kind of a weird little metal art piece I could have some fun with. These things are like sold at like TJ Maxx, a dime a dozen, but it shouldn't be thrown out, even though I think it's kind of heinous. So that'll go in the booty pile. It's amazing how much trash people produce. Like, look at this giant pile of garbage. There's some stuff picking out of those bags, but I'm not going through that because it's all just junk in the literal sense of it. Here, if you were scrapping for metals, a big pile of stuff. Roofing.
Oh my god. Oh, Dad, there's one of those gardening. Those
Gardening. I don't know. I got so many of those. And here's the trash guys beating me to it. Or I'm beating them to it, maybe. Yar, there she blows. A hump like a snow hill. Yeah, wood, scraps, really ugly marbleized table. That lamp's okay, not worth much. What is this Duramax thing? Oh, it's a, like for presentations. You clip a board to it. Somebody likes to drink. It's one of those days where I keep saying, I quit, that's enough, I don't have any more space. But I went back home after that haul, showered, gotta go to the chiropractor now. Hurt my back from lifting all that free junk. And everywhere I drive, I keep seeing stuff. The weather's great. People have been stuck home, unfortunately, with the coronavirus. Everyone's cleaning out their houses. There's so much stuff in the streets. The problem is I'm going through hand sanitizer and gloves like, well, not gloves because I'm reusing those, but hand sanitizer like crazy. I'm trying to pick up everything with one hand, not touch the handles and steering wheel of my car until I disinfect my hands. But I'm really going through Purell, and Purell is precious right now. So that's the downside of grabbing all this stuff. Trying to be super careful. Hot tip that there's some free stuff right down the street, and there's a table with a big old sign that says F-R-E-E. My second favorite four-letter word that begins with an F. Looks good. I see a lot of glassware. which could be good or bad. All right, here's the stuff I took. I didn't film too much over there because it's one of my neighbors. I didn't want to weird them out as I'm outside their house filming. They might not appreciate that. So these lamps here, which are newer, have almost like a Victorian Art Deco look. Those, kind of cool. Not my style. A pair of them in good shape. Presuming they work. Those will definitely sell. Oh, upside down. In the box with the paperwork. Kind of a cool Native American doll. Almost 2 feet tall. Morning Song by Judy Bell. Looks pricey. My daughter just wanted this for lemonade for her own use. Love the color, pretty cool. So we'll make use of that. This, as you saw before, I want to inset into something. I always wanted to cut into one of the doors of my houses and put it in like a piece of glass like this for diffused light, but to add some color to things. I really like that. It's almost just a tray for jewelry, or, you know, to place something in the center of it, a candle. I don't know. Still pretty cool. That would definitely sell. Been into birds lately. This is a very simple bird feeder that hangs on a tree or wherever. I'll put that out somewhere to feed the birds slash mostly the squirrels. They're a pain in the butt. Simple little design. I might copy that, make a couple. This is awesome. I know some people look for these all the time. And it's metal. I will keep that, hang it somewhere, or sell it, or trade, I don't know. There were a ton of these glass bottles. Now these are new glass bottles and nothing fancy, but I like these for decor pieces when I do cabin builds and stage tree houses for photos in the books I've released. You know, there's a number of them. I plugged them in some of the videos, so you've probably heard enough about that. Like that. There was a candle I grabbed because I just save candles. Cool little bottle, still full of perfume. That would sell at a flea market. Just kind of neat. Mother's Day is coming up. Hey honey, you got you something in the trash. And this nice glazed piece of pottery. Nothing fancy, nothing old, but I like it. I would put that in my house. And creepy baby painting. I don't like it, but I know somebody would. At a yard sale, online, Facebook Marketplace, eBay. Light of the world. Kind of cool. And the bin. No complaints. In the streets, keep providing. Look at this. Not that this is a big score, but pitchforks, 10, 12 bucks. I've sold a couple before. This lamp is heavy. It's all metal. I can get some black lacquer paint, fix it up and sell that sucker. It's pretty cool, very modern looking. And even better, went to buy a used bike because I rarely buy new, and found a secondary one here where everything's working. I don't know what the brand is. You can see it there. I'm lifting the trail bike. I mean, it's probably some no name for all I know, but it's a cool bike, and that will definitely sell. All right, here they are. I got the Trek off a friend. I've been looking for bikes for a while, but because of the coronavirus, everyone's selling bikes. They're in hot demand. Couldn't find anything decent. It was 60 bucks for a Trek. It's in good shape. Just need some handlebar grips. And this one over here is the one I found on the side of the road. It was free. Apparently there were two earlier, so my friend told me this is the only one left, but it works. Tracks 20 Trail, something like that. I'll look them up. Kind of a cool looking bike, but too small for my son's use. So that one's gonna be sold. Hopefully to recoup maybe the 60, you know, bucks for this one. If I get 40, 25, whatever, it's all a bonus. All right, I don't know really much about bikes, but I taught myself to fix the brakes in this one, which I found on the street the other day. I'll probably get 40, 45 bucks for it, but it was a learning experience at least. Now I know a little more about bikes, so the next time I find one, I can mess with the brakes and that and whatever else. Tires are easy. It was the brakes I needed to kind of Frankenstein mess with. Meanwhile, here's some other from the dump or street side bikes I've accumulated. Working on these, patching some tires, adjusting brakes, so on and so forth. Kept a few tires from some old bikes I use for replacements. And these, without a doubt, will sell. Not sure if I got these in tape either. From that table earlier, they put more stuff out. Little jewelry hanger, jewelry box. A watch needs a battery. And this slides open. Candles in it, this and that. Pretty cool, this candle holder. That's where the two candles go right there. Slides shut, pretty ornate. All right, there's a comic book long box here. I'm guessing it's gonna be a dud. It's just the box they're chucking out, but how cool would it be if there's actually comic books in there? I'm not counting on it. Womp, womp. That stinks. Box isn't even good. All right, there's a canvas. So I take these, whatever's on them, I paint over them. And heck yeah, I'm painting over that one because it's just terrible. Unless, of course, you're into elephants and hearts. No disrespect. But to buy a blank canvas is, you know, one this size, it could be like 20 bucks. So I'll just paint over this with my own art and sell it for 100. Alright, got some promising stuff dead ahead. Wire baskets, I don't know what I'd use them for, but they look kind of cool and they look too good to throw away. Kind of cool, I might grab them organizationally for sports stuff maybe. Again, too cool to chuck. Why waste all this metal? Doink. Metal candle holder. Saw that yesterday biking, might grab it. It's kind of bulky though. That's the problem with some of this stuff. If it doesn't fetch much money, if it's kind of big, you have to store that large item that might only sell for 8-10 bucks. But I hate seeing it going in the trash. Kind of cool. Actually really heavy. All right, kind of the wrong season for it, but these plug-in little wood stoves, usually Duraflame makes them, those tend to sell. So I'll scope that out. There's also some pots and planters there, and 'tis the season for that. So I'll see what's up. He's in pretty decent shape. Dimplex is the brand. I can touch it up with some paint, but otherwise it looks like it's in great shape. This is kind of neat. I don't know if there's any real value in it, but the almost like the bedpan set. I might grab that. Neat looking. By the way, side note, things like this, if they're not that sellable by themselves, because it's not in perfect shape, you can always take something else and kind of bundle it with them to make them look more presentable. For instance, I have about 100 Matchbox cars. I could put them all in this, you know, wicker picnic basket like thing and sell them as so that they have a carrying case as well, and it makes them look more presentable, thus more sellable. So just one idea right there. All right, here's the recap. Sorry about the wind. You saw a lot of this stuff as I found it. Some you might not have. This thing I haven't tested yet. I want to see if it works, but a lot of times people just get sick of those and chuck them. But here's the grandmother load. Some of the stuff, you know, I'll find the stuff and later I kind of regret, like, this one will be hard to sell, but it probably all is sellable or usable. And then later, certain things I found out, like this kind of has a crack in the base of it. It's almost like this paper mache-ish coated planter, but I will use that to grow tomatoes this season. I'll get a season or two out of it. The Asian carp one over here, which is kind of cool, it's a chip in the back, still kind of nice. That lamp needs some touching up paint-wise. It's kind of awesome, I think. Maybe IKEA, I don't know what it's from. That will fetch some money. This sucker, these definitely go 50, 60 bucks. Some kind of weird jewelry box. Excuse the mess, I'm working on 5,000 things here. It's just kind of how it goes. Pyrex, some old pictures. The baskets you saw earlier. Got to find a charger for the one we have to see if this works, the hoverboard. Entire set of golf clubs. Some wooden boxes and trays. That definitely will sell. Picnic basket, yeah, maybe at a flea market for a little bit. Those are those little pots that are almost for strawberries or whatever. You can stack those. I will grow something with those. Candle holder you saw before, which is pretty cool. Some Corningware. This is, it turns out, a pitcher and basin. It's not scratched, it just has some stains and stuff in the bottom, which I'll have to wipe out. That's from IKEA. This is called, brand new in the package, it's called the Toy Box. It's like a mobile tray you can clip onto a stand for musical instruments, for your audio recording devices or whatever. And that's, oh, the canvas back there. I got to store all the stuff, clean it up, list it. And at least half of it will sell pretty quickly. The rest might be destined for future flea markets, which is just kind of fun. I see it as keeping the stuff out of a landfill, so I'm pretty pleased. Not pleased with having to do all this work cleaning it and putting it away, because that's a lot of stuff. This is the time of the trip where I kind of regret, like, oh crap, I picked up too much stuff. But when it starts turning into cash, I will be rather happy. So thanks for joining us again. Please subscribe. Hope you dug this video. A little trip down salvaging lane with me, your host, and I hope to see you guys in one of the next videos. See ya, and happy hunting.